Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone I rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect out here pushing his truth and sincerity. To what of which I do, we love you, we appreciate you through the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom to y'all. It's your brother Dawud Dodd from the Great Millstone Camp in Atlanta. Lord willing to give you an edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Who the world ignorantly calls God, his name is Yahweh, meaning he is or he exists or he to be. Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai, meaning he is the Savior or he is the deliverer. He saves, he delivers. If you're watching this now, you're a so-called black, Native American, or Latino man or woman, you are Hebrew Israelite according to the Holy Bible. Fuck yeah. You will not find black, Native American, or Latino in the Bible. So you need to know who you are according to the Bible. All right. It's important to know because certain people in the Bible was promised the covenant, glory, the kingdom, and salvation. Now, if you don't look like a so-called black, Native American, or Latino, that does not mean that you're not a Hebrew Israelite, and that does not mean that you cannot receive salvation. It does not matter what you look like. It does not matter what color your skin is. It only matters that your bloodline goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob had his name later changed to Israel. Israel in the Hebrew is Yasharallah, meaning he is the prince of the power. All right. So we remember what happened in, So let's continue on where we left off. This is 2 Samuel chapter 11 now. Remember in the previous chapter, King David fought against, and his men fought against the Ammonites. And after their ruler had died, and David took unto himself, I believe, the Syrian as servants. But, and this time, David, he was getting blessed, man. He was getting blessed, beloved, Dawud died. He was getting blessed, and Lord really shows you what true rulership is, and through David, man. True inheritances, true assets, true substance and wealth. And just in those chapters, I'm not saying, other kings, King Solomon, were extremely wealthy. But in these chapters, we see what true wealth is, man. Having servants, having, assets and horsemen and herding sheep and and houses, these types of things, man. Not what you see today, such as FRN. These people, they hold stacks of dollars to their face. They just look stupid, They just look stupid, and the rest of the world laughs at them. But yeah, 2 Samuel 11 and 1. Now you read the title already. Subtitle gives it away. It says Bathsheba, David's great sin. It says, and it came to pass after the year is expired at the time when kings go forth to battle, that David sent Joab and his servants with him and all Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon and besieged Rabbah. But David tarried still at Jerusalem. Him being a king now, so he has mighty men that he can just send out. David already, fought all his battles leading up to this point. He can just, it's kind of like you send these men to go, he's sending somebody else to go handle his light work, until something crazy pops up. But, hey, man, go handle my light work, man. So it's, and it came to pass in an eventide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon his roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon. And David sent and inquired after the woman. And one said, is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? It says, and David sent messengers and took her, and she came in unto him, and he lay with her for she was purified from her uncleanness. Yeah, David went off, man, because that's adultery. That's one thing that we don't, you know, we don't condone in the nation of Israel. And she returned into her house. Yeah, man. Oh man, that's it's kind of it gets sad to see such things, you know, happen, man. But who knows, man? Uriah the Hittite might have been a wicked nigga. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, these are things we don't do, man. Like, I'm not justifying it, you know. I'm just saying, you think like, cause hey, what happened to Uriah the Hittite? It's like, damn, the Lord must not have been with this dude, man, cause he let him take his, let King David take his one papa's woman, and then we'll read on to what happens. You think like, damn, like damn, the Lord must not have been with this dude, man. It says, and a woman conceived and sent and told David and said, I am with child, and David sent to Joab, saying, send me Uriah the Hittite. And Joab sent Uriah to David. And when Uriah was come unto him, David demanded of him how Joab did, and how the people did, and how the war prospered. And David said to Uriah, go down to thy house and wash thy feet. And Uriah departed out of the king's house, and there followed a mess of meat from the king. But Uriah slept at the door of the king's house with all the servants of his lord, and went not down to his house. And when they had told David, saying, Uriah went not down unto his house, David said unto Uriah, camest thou not from thy journey? Why then didst thou not go down unto thine house? And Uriah said unto David, the ark in Israel and Judah abide in tents, and my lord Joab and the servants of my lord are encamped in the open fields. Shall I then go into mine house to eat and to drink, and to lie with my wife? As thou livest, and as thy soul liveth, I will not do this thing. Yeah. So you kind of look at the nature of your right here, right? That's speaking. I was speaking. It's like a little unfavorable. Not to justify what King David did, but I'm just saying, given the events, you would think like, damn, well, the Lord must not be with this dude. But here we see a look into his character, right? Which King David, what he's doing right here is, this is being deceitful. He wants Uriah to go, pop his woman so that, he can basically cuck him. He's basically trying to cuck him. He's trying to put the baby on Uriah, because once Uriah goes and goes in and sleeps with his women, goes and pops his woman, everybody can say, well, that's your child, So because now if she gets pregnant, right? If she gets pregnant and Uriah then and pop her, well, oh, you were sleeping with somebody else while I was going at war, which is something that these women do today. They do that today. Now that was King David, so these women, they gonna fall head over heels. But she knew that the window, especially the window was open. She did that on purpose. Like, you close your window, like, what I'm saying, they had curtains. They had curtains back then and all that stuff. So when she did that on purpose. She did that shit on purpose. So that King David could see her, and yeah, man, and that's what happens, man, when you look at a woman with lust, man. Scriptures tell you not to look upon women with lust. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can, but it tells you don't take that as the main thing. It'll cloud your judgment. Women are beautiful, man. And she did that on purpose. She showed her body while she was showering, or whatever it may be, while she was washing herself. Which is demonic, because it's like, like, you got a man. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, the man is at war. But because this is King David, she wanted to sleep with him. So, and that's how women are today. These dudes go off to these wars and whatnot, right? Shit, over there in Ukraine is happening like that. These Ukrainian women, they're coming to America to party, right? They're going to Miami, to Vegas, California, and they're going to party while their men are at war. Because these women ain't shit, bro. These women are the same, man. All these women are the same, bro. You know, for the most part. You know, that's just how women are. That's why during the time of King David, right, during those times we had swords and shields, those women, man, they when you came in to conquer, a lot of them was honestly, a lot of them was willing to give it up, man, because they like, oh shit, all of our men are been conquered, so obviously they were weak. These men are stronger. Hey, I'm down. You know, some of them they had children and husbands, so a lot of them probably was sad, but you know, some women like yo, they were with it. You know, on to the next type shit, and that's how these women are today. If their man go off and fight in Afghanistan or, you know, Vietnam, whatever it is, there's a man that's in your laying in your bed, man. In your bed. It's crazy. You know? But that's what King David was trying to do to Uriah, man, trying to cuck him. And it says, verse 12, and David said to Uriah, tarry here today also, and tomorrow I will let thee depart. So Uriah abode in Jerusalem that day and the morrow. And when David had called him, he did eat and drink before him, and he made him drunk. And at even he went out to lie on his bed with the servants of his Lord, but went not down to his house. And it came to pass in the morning that David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it by the hand of Uriah. And he wrote in the letter, saying, Set ye Uriah in the forefront of the hottest battle, and retire ye from him, that he may be smitten and die. Yo, that is so messed up, man. It says, and it came to pass when Joab observed the city that he assigned Uriah unto a place where he knew the valiant men were. And the men of the city went out and fought with Joab, and there fell some of the people of the servants of David. And Uriah the Hittite died also. Then Joab sent and told David all the things concerning the war, and charged the messenger, saying, when thou hast made an end of telling the matters of the war unto the king, and if so be that the king's wrath arise, and he say unto thee, wherefore approach ye so nigh unto the city when ye did fight? Knew ye not that it would be shoot from the wall? Yeah. Who smote Amalek the son of Jerubasheth? Did not a woman cast a piece of a millstone upon him from the wall, that he died at the Bez? Why went ye nigh the wall? Then say thou that thy servant Uriah the Hittite is dead also. Wow. It says, so the messenger went and came and shewed David all that Joab had sent for him. That's wicked, man. You're the one that committed trespass against this man, so you got to put him to death. And I'm not, hey, look, this is just what it is. The scriptures is the scriptures. I wouldn't dare, speak negative towards our king. But this is it's this act right here that we are judging, right? Shit, if we look at ourselves today, what are the things that we do in this time that we can say more righteous, righteous than any of these great men in this Bible, but we are judging this act here, right? And there's a certain thing that, you need to shame. Certain things need to be shamed, and we got to shame ourselves. We got to look upon ourselves and shame ourselves, all right? So we're supposed to be judges and kings, man. It says, and the messenger said unto David, surely the men prevailed against us and came out unto us into the field, and we were upon them, even to enter in the gate. And the shooters shot from off the wall upon thy servants, and some of the king's servants be dead, and thy servant Uriah the Hittite is dead also. Then David said unto the messenger, thus shalt thou say unto Joab, let not this thing displease thee, for the sword devoureth one as well as another. Make thy battle more strong against the city and overthrow it. Encourage thou him. And when the wife of Uriah heard her husband was dead, she mourned for her husband. But you slept with another man. That's crazy. It says, and when the morning was past, David sent and fetched her to his house, and she became his wife, and bare him a son. But the thing that David had done displeased the Lord. Oh gosh. It says Nathan rebukes David. It says, and the Lord sent Nathan unto David, and he came. Actually, you know what? Let me this is kind of longer, a little longer. It's not that long, but it's some knowledge in here. It's a lot of knowledge in here. Let's pick up on this one later on. Like, level 1 youth out of 5.